we go to the regional championships and see if we can do something really big. For the women, it'll be just placing better than they did last year. Last year we just didn't really have a good race, and if we could be anywhere from, I think we could be anywhere from fifth to eighth, and obviously the closer we are to fifth or so, that'll be a big accomplishment for us, beating some big teams. And then the men, they could be second or they could be eighth. So. And we could possibly have some national qualifiers out of the group. So, I think we just bring confidence coming off the Southland meet, and what we're able to do there.
Talk about where your team stands now, just a few days out, health-wise, training-wise, and some of the individual goals you have for your athletes.
Yeah, right now we're pretty healthy. Everybody's good to go. We're just recovery, keeping the mileage up, doing some, a couple of workouts. But we're just recover and rest. The goals for the guys is to do better than last year. We were fourth in the region, and like I said, I think we could be second or eighth depending on how things go. If we run well, we could be second, third, fourth, which is pretty good. So, Charles, I think Charles and Colby have the best shot to make it individually if we don't make it as a team. Colby's more of a 10K guy. Charles is more of a 10K guy. So we move up from 8K to 10K, which is 6.2 miles versus 5 miles. So that the extra 2,000 meters, for us is something that we welcome and that we want that to happen, because the longer we go, the better we are. And it's a great opportunity for them. The girls, like I said, it's just, them is racing to their ability that I know that they're at. Those three girls at Raw Conference, at the conference meet, they finally put a really, really good race together, and that's where they're training at. That's what things are leading to. The girls is how many can we get in the top 25, which is all region team. I think if we can put 3 to 4 in all region, then the team's going to do awesome. So the more we can put there, the better, and I think it'll be a good way to end the season.
You talked a little bit about the distance change. In 2 weeks' time, the weather's going to be different too. Different course. There will be more runners at the regional meet. Talk about the difference you'll have between the conference and the regional, and what it's going to look like at the course in Arkansas.
Yeah, the great thing is that we went up there for the chili pepper, so it's basically the same exact course. They just add extra on the men's side. Same thing on the women. They're just adding extra parts to it. So we've already raced that course. We know what to expect, and we know kind of where we need to be a little bit more focused, make better moves. And with that experience going up there at the beginning of October, I think that'll help us a lot. There were some teams there in our region that ran that race and some that weren't, so I think we have a leg up there. As far as the weather goes, it's going to be high of 40 or 39 or something on Friday, so I think that should be fine. The women race at 12, the men race at 1. So at that point, it's probably going to be at the high temperature roughly. So that'll be good. Most of our group races better in the cold. So it seems like when we race in hotter weather, we seem not to run well. But with the experience knowing the course, it's just reverting back to what we did. The women had a really good race there at the beginning of October, so they're going to revert back to how they felt, what they did correctly, and just capitalize on that. The men were kind of, some did well, some didn't, some didn't. So, for them just to, go back to what they did at the conference meet, which is recent, and just, implement that game plan. So.
Perfect. That's all I had. Thanks for your
All
time.
right. Thank you.
Good luck on Friday.
Oh, man. I'm ready.
What time you guys leaving?
Just all right, you've had a weekend to kind of sit back and look, just kind of recap Friday night's game and then Sunday night's game for us.
Sure. Yeah. No, I thought we were playing our best soccer heading into the conference tournament. We were really excited about getting down to Beaumont and Lamar and their administrators did a fantastic job. It was a fantastic event. Conference did a really good job, and literally anything that we needed or anything that we felt might help make our players a little more comfortable. They were all very accommodating. So that first and foremost, I want to thank them for putting on a great event. And then we go into Friday night's game against Nichols. We match up very well with that team and was one of the more dynamic performances that we've seen. It was great. Came together at the right time and really finished a lot of our chances that we had, really, really good quality chances. And then we're able to make sure that we developed everyone from a mentality standpoint, experience standpoint going into Sunday. And then I thought going into Sunday we were prepared. We knew it was at stake, and Houston Baptist definitely earned the right to be in the final with the two performances they had on the Thursday and Friday night. And we knew that they were going to be motivated and excited. And, a lot of people wonder about how a team's going to compete physically after playing, 2 games. Well, the message to the team and the message to those that have brought that up is when you play that many games consecutively, it doesn't affect how you start the game. It affects how you finish the game. And so we knew they were going to start the game fast. We knew they were going to be committed. It was a very good game when we played them down at their place. We had two great goals that we scored to win that game. But what you hope for is that you execute and you finish your chances, and you want to make sure that hopefully you're limiting their chances. And that's a team that has scored quite a few goals on set pieces, and we gave up a set piece in the first half, about 15 minutes in, and they scored it. And so now all of a sudden that emotion that would normally die down based on fatigue is now carried over, and they begin to invest more. Their fans get involved in it, and there's momentum going back and forth throughout that whole game. And I think they had really 3 good chances in the first half. They scored one of them. I just got done watching, the first half of that game, and I think we had probably 5 or 6 really good chances inside of 20 yards. One of them hit the crossbar, Haley Hunt shot, which was fantastic, and ultimately their goalkeeper made some great plays. And as you went through that game, the goalkeeper position is one that can change a game. The forward unit is one that can change the game, and ultimately their goalkeeper was prepared, and her performance was above and beyond her team's, and she was our best player and rightfully got the tournament MVP. So, there was no fluke there. There's no excuses. I mean, it was a good game, and we put ourselves in positions to win that game. But ultimately, HBU did what they needed to do, and credit to them.
So you say credit to them, and going back to their Friday night game, they went to the 2 overtime PK shootout just to get to play us. And
Sure.
It delayed our game, and a lot of people will think, well, you kind of iced the girls, and now they have to modify their pregame because, while at the same time, still trying to wait and see who they're going to play
Sure.
if they win.
Sure.
But talk about Friday night. Going through that, you get the 5-0 result, largest victory in the conference tournament in program history, and then having to turn around and match up against a team that has played 2 games before.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I think HBU. From an athletic standpoint, their coaching staff, they do a good job, and from a competitive character standpoint, they're a very hard-working team, and they went through 2 very tight, very demanding, grinding type performances on Thursday and Friday in Sela and then Sam Houston, and to go through that. Definitely from a mentality standpoint, they were not going to be shocked on Sunday. I mean, there was nothing that was going to take them by surprise. However, I do think that our athleticism and our possession, specifically in the first half, really began to impose itself, and we just, we're unlucky to score. And, the first thing as a staff you ask yourself is, were you prepared to start fast? My goodness, we started fast. We could have had 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. And then the next thing you ask yourself is, are you creating chances? And are you dangerous? And absolutely we were dangerous, and we created chances. So from there, it comes down to some execution. It comes down to performances of the other team. and again, they were up for it.
Now, I know this wasn't the result you wanted. Everyone wants to play one more game, especially
Sure.
to get to the NCAA tournament. But
Sure.
just looking back now on the season, everything, there still was a lot of positives. There's a lot of things to be proud of.
No doubt, it was an incredible year. It was a season that I think, as our seniors begin to continue to move forward, as our returners move forward, and as a coaching staff, we begin to process and move forward. There's a lot to be proud of, and there were some very special moments throughout the year, and would love to play in the NCAAs, and that's ultimately our primary benchmark as a program, because we feel that if we're in a position to compete in the NCAAs, then the conference will take care of itself. And so when you reach those benchmarks, conference-related benchmarks, you hope that the next one's the NCAAs. But quite frankly, we've been in a position to play for 4 championships in 2 years, and we've won 2 of those. That's very special. That is not easy to do, and it's important that our players recognize that, our fans recognize that, and then everyone understands that, yeah, there's more out there. We understand there's more. Our players understand there's more, and we're going to keep putting together, different regimens and ideas and help building the foundation to put us in a position to compete in the NCAAs.
Coach, like you said, it wasn't the result you wanted, but again, thank you for your time and thank you for your.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you luncheon?
Yes, sir. Alrighty, first things first. You've had a couple days now. Talk about that win at McNeese and just what that meant for this program.
Well, a really good win. I mean, I talked about, I think most coaches in this conference, how highly we hold McNeese football and as far as regard traditionally, and this year was no different. They were ranked 6th in the nation, so really good win. I mean, a really good win. That's 3 road wins in a row. Of course, the neutral site game down in Houston, but you got 3, road wins in a row, and we were just sitting here talking, a month ago about not having won a road game for 3 years. And so I was really proud of our players, how they responded. We obviously, as a coaching staff, pushed some buttons and felt very good about our preparation here in Nacogdoches before we left, and they really responded. All the credit goes to the players and certainly our coaching staff. Played very physical, very efficient on offense, made plays, big plays when we needed to, very solid in the kicking game, probably one of the more complete games that we played this year. And we needed to do that against a very fast and physical McNeese team that was playing at home. And, with everything in their hands to, as far as the conference title was concerned. So we knew, going into Cowboy Stadium, it was going to be a difficult task, and I thought our players, really responded. And we needed to play the type of game that we did. We had no turnovers and created 2, so we won the turnover margin. About 45 yards and penalties. Really didn't hurt us too bad there. One interference call, which could have went either way, in my opinion. Either a no call or, or both pushing and shoving a little bit, arm barn. But and we won the field position battle, which had killed us the week before. They had the long haul, and defensively, We just controlled the line of scrimmage, 9 or 10 tackles for loss. Just a tremendous effort on the back end. One of the most athletic interceptions you'll ever see, a one-handed, full contortion interception, get the foot down on our sideline by Marvin Gray. Just a lot of individual great plays, collective great plays, and just a complete team victory, a really, really good win for us. Secures a winning season and just a lot of positives.
You talked about pushing some buttons. You just challenged you.
Yeah, I just challenged them because certainly 2 weeks ago down at NRG, we didn't put our best foot forward. We played tentative. We did not play well in the kicking game as far as field position. Offensively, we did some good things, but just not enough of them. And we needed to bounce back and handle the adversity and handle the challenge, and the players did that.
And that was you sensed in the practice going up that y'all were. You do that in practice, you don't necessarily do it in the game. It was a good week of practice.
Yeah. Well, Tuesday, first part of Tuesday practice drug a little bit. There was a little bit of a hangover from the previous game, but I really thought they bounced back towards the end of practice Tuesday. We had a really good day Wednesday in the rain. We practiced in Homer Bryce in the rain, and I thought we really took a big step there. You could tell their concentration and focus was good. Thursday we had a good day Thursday, and then we worked out here Friday before we left. And I thought our preparation, when we got down to Southwest Louisiana, was really good too. And certainly it started with the defense early, holding them to no points in the first quarter, and then we were able to get a couple of scores in the second quarter. And then the third quarter, I think we had 3 straight scoring drives. We scored 17 straight points. And then we really kind of were able to pin our ears back and either go after them or play softer coverage, and really mixed up some coverages and fronts against them. So we were in a real good position there after we scored those 17 unanswered points. There was a couple of tremendous individuals, a lot of tremendous individual efforts, but, obviously our quarterback played very well. Zach, 21 of 23, one of those was a drop ball. 3 touchdowns. We ran a gadget play. Tyler Boyd threw one to Zach for a touchdown. So I thought that he played a very complete game. You could tell the game had really slowed down for him, and he had command. And that's what you hope out of that position. Again, he's young and he's still learning, and missed a couple things, and he'll grow from that. Thought we caught the ball well outside the one drop. And then Lance Schuyler had just a tremendous impact on that defensive front. A lot of guys played well. Ishmael Miles, Donald Bryant, Shavion Hatton. Several young men played well, but Schuyler had 3.5, 4 sacks, and really took the game over, I thought, in the second half. He played with the talent that he possesses.
Let's talk about what's before you, Coach. You're at home. Got 2 games left. Could be a really special year. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, but
Sure.
But you are at home, and you got some good games.
Well, we're really excited to be back at home and to finish out the season. We've got Abilene Christian coming in here, and all of our energies and efforts are square on the Wildcats. One of my former assistants is the head coach, Ken Collins. Just a tremendous love and respect for Ken. And he has done a wonderful job there for a long time as a coordinator, and then the last 3 years of getting this program up to speed at the FCS Division I level. Very big on both lines, very physical, very talented, 2 very talented running backs, a very good quarterback, a redshirt freshman that can really spin it, quality receivers defensively. They're in their spots. They're well coached. They take calculated chances, and then just solid in the kicking game. Another very, very good Southland Conference team, and has every right to be in this league. And you can, they beat UCA 2 weeks ago up in the Dallas area, and got after them pretty good. And of course, they've got Troy on their resume as a win out of the Sun Belt. Should have beat Georgia State opening night. Lost by 1. They're very physical, very good football team, well coached. And, it will take every bit of our collective efforts again this week to put a great plan together, to have great energy in practice. There's some things we can control, and that's our preparation. What we can't control is the forecast, which could get a little dicey on Saturday. And, that's why I'm really excited about how we practiced in the rain last week. And there's a pretty good chance of some cool weather and some precipitation on Saturday. So, we're all in, and we've got a lot of work to do, but certainly we're very, very focused on. We've reached our first goal of a winning season, and our players have strongly indicated that they understand what's out there for us, and it starts this week with Abilene Christian, and I told them they can be a little selfish and greedy, to want more, but we got to go earn it. And this is a very, very good football team.
Final question, Coach. You've talked a lot about what it means to this program to be relevant in November. Here we are. You can't be any more relevant than this. I mean, everything's out there for you. Seeing how your players responded last week after the loss against Sam and then the win against McNeese, what does that say about the maturity of this team or what they've gained?
Well, I think we're learning lessons as we go, and we need to learn. We need to take a step back and really evaluate ourselves, how we handled the successes leading up to our game at NRG, and then not playing well, and then bouncing back from that adversity, and now having some success again. And I think they understand what we want out of them. We just got to keep them on point. They've got to stay on point and understand the devil is in the details. And it's all about the preparation and bringing the right mindset. So I think we're growing. I don't think there's any question, Rand. We're growing and we're maturing. I've said this, we have some very talented football players. We're not the most talented team that plays every Saturday, but they're playing with a tenacity about them and a sense of urgency and a big heart. And if we can continue to get that week in and week out and play clean, I really like this team. And we've accomplished an awful lot in a very short period of time, but there is just so much more out there for us. And I think they recognize that. And if they do, then they'll handle this week in a very mature way. Thank you.
Sink in a little bit. Talk about your team's accomplishment last week.
Really, I think it will sink in when the season's over. Right now, we've still got a lot of volleyball left to play, and there's not really time to think about what you've done or anything. I do know that we have no desire to share this with anyone, so there is definitely unfinished business. So we've got 2 matches in the regular season left. It's important for us to be playing our best volleyball of the season right now. I felt like, we were challenged at a very high level this past week. We did some things really, really well, but we didn't have all of the pieces playing at a super high level, and we've got to get back to that this week because, Abilene and Incarnate Word, these are the last 2 matches of the season for them. They have no opportunity yet to go to the tournament, but not because, like, Incarnate Word would really be fighting to get in right now. So I'm sure on their side they're thinking, hey, let's earn a spot. Even though we can't go yet, let's earn a spot. So these teams are very good. We know how much of a challenge they were when they were here. They're taking a lot of teams to 5 sets. It's on their home court. I mean, they are just going to lay it all out there and give us a run. So we have got to be ready to play at a high level. And like I said, in preparation for the tournament, that's what we need to be doing anyway.
What are some of the things that you need to improve on the most to make sure you are playing your best volleyball come conference time? I know the most important thing for you is the #1 seed, and you have that secured. So just talk about what you guys need to do this week specifically.
You know, we have got to, I think consistency is something that's been our friend throughout the season. We've played at a very consistent level, and we need to make sure we're doing that in every aspect of the game. You know, we've got to get our left side hitters going again. You know, they struggled a little bit this week just to get that portion of our offense going, and we certainly have a plan about how to do that. But that and just continue to take care of that first contact. The better the first contact, whether it's out of serve, receive, or defense, certainly it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that that's going to make the offense go smoother. So for us to sharpen that up a little bit and put Paige in good situations where she does have opportunities to deliver the ball wherever she wants to. And, you know, certainly keep our middles going and our right side. Those were 3 positions that were very, very good for us this past week. And keep that going and just fine-tune, you know. It's more about that, but it's about continuing to get better as well and not being satisfied with where we are, but what can we do at a higher level? And we certainly need to stay motivated and realize that it's a very difficult thing to win both the regular season and the tournament. Yeah.
OJ had 27 digs on Friday night. Talk about what she meant or how she helped the team win a championship and how important she is moving forward.
You know, OJ's certainly a big piece of the puzzle. She's been very steady for us. She's been consistent with, she's a very good defender, and she's really improved her serve receive over the last 2 years. And just when you talk about consistency, that's probably the name that would come to mind as far as someone we can count on night in and night out to go out and perform at an extremely high level. And she's also very much a driving force on the court. She's very vocal. She plays with that high level of energy. She does a lot more than just pass and dig, which is certainly what we want from the libero spot.
You have 8 conference titles to your name now as a coach here, which congratulations on that, first of all. But how does this team relate to some of those other great teams that you've coached? And on the other end, how are they a little bit more unique than the teams you've coached?
Yeah, again, a lot of those questions will have to be answered at the end of the season, but the one thing I will tell you about this team, what makes this title extremely special, is the fact that we did it coming off of the adversity of 2013. It was just a year, you know, every team faces adversity. You have injuries to do, you have things that you have to deal with over the course of the season, and we've had those this year, but they were in normal amounts. Last year, it seemed like we just could not catch a break, and it became very frustrating, and it was difficult. Every step of the way, just trying to fight our way into the tournament was difficult. And for that team to experience that and finish that and end up, and all I could leave them with is, I don't know why this happened. I know it was for a reason. We need to learn from it. We need to grow from it. And then for this situation, you know, for us to be in a position where we win a conference title, God works in mysterious ways, you know, and it's been a lot of fun and very special for that reason.